the choice between going corporate and independent is just based on, what you consider quality of living. So like if you're not a person that minds being told what to do and, sacrificing and, just looking forward to Fridays and, having to ask every time you want to make a move and it has to be profitable, then corporate might be the way for you. If you don't like being told what to do and you like to be able to do things as you're inspired and, where you can show taste and, where, you have the ability to monetize without compromise and you have the ability to be fair with the people you work with and create whatever environment you want, then you're independent and you put up the money, And corporate's model, because usually there is no one person that puts up the money, is usually volume with no margin. So like off $100 million worth of volume and everyone getting paid and salaries and offices being built and, all kind of expense, credit cards and whatever, you don't own nothing, but you're living good. But at the end of the day, off $100 million, you might make two. If you're independent, off $100 million, you're gonna make about 35, 40. But it's just hard to get to that $100 million because the more demand you have, the more cash you gotta lay out. And that's usually the gift and the curse of being independent, but being successful. The more demand you have, the more cash you have to buy to supply the demand. And you don't make money back until you've bought. You have to be out of pocket, And then sometimes you might buy something and buy goods and put it on the street. And you need to buy more goods, but you haven't collected the money back off the street. So now it's like you got to cop twice without re-up. You have to re-up twice without, getting your money back off the street once. You understand what I'm saying? So, that's what the struggle is with being independent. But again, you have a better margin. You have better taste. You work with who you want to work with. You get to come into work when you feel like it. You can be a boss. And you only want to talk to other bosses, other people that are putting up their own money. And that's a business model for someone that wants to do things independently. It's usually a person that, I don't want to say has ego, but has pride. Someone that likes to enjoy what they do, that doesn't really do it for the dollar. You know what I mean? That's usually what independence is, having passion for something, really loving it. It is personal. It's not just business. When it's independent, it's yours. You're proud of it. You know what I mean? Like independence is priceless. It's just people that have never had it don't even understand. And I don't even expect them to, And independence means usually putting up your own dough. You have to put up your own money. That's independence. If someone else is putting up the money, that's dependence. You understand what I'm saying? Now you got to move when they say move. You have to ask. You have to be nice. You have to laugh at jokes that aren't funny. You know what I mean? You have to be around a racist and let them say little things, little cute things. A nerd square that wouldn't survive in the street. And independence is like being... Like, let me tell you the perspective of someone that's independent. If there's like a wild dog and he has to literally eat the food he kills, he cannot eat unless he kills something that day. And then there's a dog that's tamed. He lives in a house, but he has 3 square meals a day. He got to do tricks. He gets petted. He gets kicked out. He gets beat. He got to get walked. He walks on a leash. When that dog comes in the room with the wild dog is laughing. He doesn't care that you're in a mansion. He doesn't care that you eat steak every day. He still thinks you're a herb. He knows he can take from you because he knows he has to kill every day to eat. You know what I mean? And that's a confidence. That's a rock star. And that's the one thing that I know I will never give up. The ability to be that. Like, I laugh at anyone that's a caged dog. Walked on a leash, told when to eat, and does tricks and rolls over for a check.
So as far as, let's take a step back, like as far as like when you made the choice to start Rockefeller Records and go into the music business altogether, what advice would you give to somebody for making the right choice, career choice? What is like to you, like you were talking to your children or just any youngster that wants to know in the hood, that how does that choice, what do you think is the key to making that choice?
It's understanding how you make your money. Like if you ask a youngster what he wants to do, he'll tell you what he wants to do, but he doesn't know how he makes his money. If you ask a rapper before he actually gets successful, like what he wants to do, he's gonna tell you, I want to be a rapper. Well, how you make your money being a rapper? The average rapper doesn't know it's from shows and merchandise. They won't know that. But you ask a designer, they're just starting a clothing company. They don't know what tier of distribution, where's your margin, what's your business model. It's understanding where you make your money, but also understanding how you make your money. You know what I'm saying? Understanding what it means when you go mass and what volume means, and understanding what it means when you become something that's a destination. And you know, it's not volume, it's just more just opinion leaders. And then how you make money from that. It's just understanding how not to compromise your brand and have longevity and being patient, you know. Like a lot of people aren't built to be entrepreneurs. You know, they get too nervous, they get too scared. The first thing you have to do and understand about being an entrepreneur is you're never going to hold any money. Because every time you get $1, you're buying more stuff, period. You don't hold money, you buy stuff, period. And you know, people that put up money usually don't think they can make it anymore, and they just take what they're given and they save it and get scared. And with all, you know, the government incentivizes you to put it back into the street because of capital gains. Either it's 50% if you want to put it up, or it's, you know, like 15-20% if you want to invest it in something that makes some money a year later. That's the purpose of it. You know what I mean? The government wants you to put your money into your business because it helps the economy. But not many people are built for that. And you have to be broke. You have to. If you're not broke, you're not successful, because that means you have no demand to buy any goods to sell. So you can hold money. But when there's demand for you, you can't hold no paper because you gotta keep buying. But some people don't want to put up their own dough. Some people are suckers. Some people are scared. Some people think there's security in having a boss, but there's no security in having a boss. And by the way, if you're a boss, that means you can't get fired, and it means you don't have to ask no questions. So like, let's say somebody gives you $100 million to watch for somebody, and now you're acting like it's yours. It's not yours. You're not a boss. You could get fired. You're a supervisor. And that's the frustration an independent will have dealing in the corporate infrastructure, because you got to deal with a bunch of people that never put up their own money, a bunch of supervisors fronting like bosses, and then they talk to you like they're a boss, and that aggravates a boss. Trust me when I tell you, the boss is always the person that puts up the money, period. If the person's not putting up the money, he's not the boss. Don't let him front like the boss. Don't ever let anybody say they're the boss if they're putting up the money, if they're not putting up the money. I don't care. I don't care how big the corporation is that's backing you. If it's not your money, you're not the boss. You may be happy watching. So you ever see, it cracks me up when I see people so happy taking pictures in other people's stuff. Like they be on jets and they be on Instagram, and like it's not theirs. I don't understand that. You understand what I'm saying? A house is like, yo, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like, it's not yours. And that's what not putting up your money is. It's not yours.